Back here on Sportsline, having a ball, spending an hour with the legendary Jim Ross, WWE Hall of Fame announcer. Jim, again, it's great to have you here. Tell us about your book, Slobber Knocker, appropriately named because that was one of your big catchphrases as a WWE announcer all those years.
It was. It's been a labor of love. I tell you, we decided to write the book about and started. I knew when I wanted to start it in a rough sense, but I damn sure knew how I wanted to end it, this first book. And it ends after the first Rock-Austin WrestleMania match, because I had just lost my mother. Yeah. On the night that my mother died, we were in England, I got my second bout of Bell's palsy, a pretty heavy dose, you know, couldn't smile, still can't smile, whistle, you know, anything viable. I tell people, I said, JR, you never smile. Why are you so angry? I'm not angry at all. I can't smile. If I could, I would. Right. I wish I could. If you can fix this, I'm in. Yeah. I said, I can give you one better than that. My grandchildren, as I mentioned earlier, a 10th grader and a 7th grader, had never seen me smile. So I live with that, and I live with it well, because I can't do anything about it. And I used to be the kind of guy that would worry about everything I couldn't control, which is really ridiculous. We stop and think about it. Yep. Oh my God, if it rains tomorrow, I'm just going to die. Well, you can't.
Nothing you can do.
No, move to Arizona. I don't know
right, just deal with it.
I don't know what to tell you, but
get an umbrella.
Stay in the house.
Exactly.
So I wanted to write the book, and we did. And it starts in Philadelphia at that WrestleMania with Steve and Dwayne.
Great match.
It's the first one. And I remember, you know, I've been off work and been out of the loop and very depressed, clinically depressed, very self-conscious. Because here's the deal, John. Fat guys like me with an Oklahoma accent that can't smile ain't got a chance in heck to be on television. If I walked in like this today to a talent agent and said, "How you doing, everybody? I want to be a television personality. Think you can help me?" I didn't think so, but thanks anyway for your time. So the book is about my journey. Wow. And it's about growing up on as I mentioned earlier, I was a kid on a single parent, or a single kid on an only child. I'm trying to say. I'll get to it in a minute. But what was challenging about this is that my first writing partner, Scott Williams, died of a heart attack suddenly, just dropped dead. Wow. And boy, and that left a pretty good lurch. But Paul O'Brien, who I'd read Blood Red Turns Dollar Green, some great novels set in a wrestling environment, but they're like the Sopranos meet suplexes. Okay. They're very cool. Dwayne Johnson had them under option for a while, all those books, and it's a $7 company. And so my wife gets killed in March. And I'm thinking, hell, I don't have any, I lost it now. I don't have the edge, I don't have any creativity. I'm feeling sorry for myself, boo-hoo, poor me. Because this can't have happened to anybody else. You know, come on. We all lose things, loved ones. It's just going to happen. It's life. Yeah. And I'm not making light of it. Right. It's just I can't bring her back. Right. So I got to honor her memory and live my life to how I think she would be looking down and smiling. So, but I didn't know I could finish the book. So I'm sitting there alone in my house. 4 days after my wife died, our cat dies. And the cat dies, is found dead in our bedroom underneath my wife's side of the bed. He broke his heart. He's 7 years old. He wasn't even sick. He decided, I'm done. Yeah. Mommy's not here. I'm done. Right. So I remember the story, and this got me out of my malaise. My dad said one time, I was a 9th grader, 5'11", 175, 180, big for Oklahoma Class A football 9th grader. And so the coach comes out and says, I want your boy to play the varsity. And Dad reluctantly agreed. He said, if he's just going to hold dummies, I got more work for him to do out here after school on the farm. No, I think he can play. And so, lo and behold, within a few game or two, I'm playing all the time. The guy gets hurt, no depth, little school, rural school, right? So I said, I come home one day, my mom was complaining about having to do so much laundry because I had a 9th grade uniform and practice gear and a varsity uniform and practice gear, and I was wearing her out because we had one little washing machine, just shook the house when it went off. Yeah. And So I come home and I say to my dad, I said, you know, Dad, I've decided to leave the 9th grade team and just focus on the varsity. I got the death look. The death look, man. So he says, well, here's the deal. I'll make this real easy for you. If you quit the 9th grade team that you grew up with all these kids, you ride a school bus with them, you're your buddies, that stayed overnight here, then you're not going to play on the varsity. I'll see to that. So you quit your 9th grade buddies, you're done with football. And I will work your butt off right out here on the farm. He said, because son, here's the payoff. He said, son, quitting is the easiest thing in the world to get good at. Quitting is the easiest thing in the world to get good at. And I thought when I was doubting finishing this book that quitting it would be really easy and I could get used to the quitting. So we finished it, and it's been #1 on the wrestling Amazon charts for wrestling books. 2 weeks ago, it was ahead of Tiger Woods and sports biographies.
Wow.
It was #1 in that too. It's a story about an unlikely fat kid from eastern Oklahoma that lives his dream in this crazy, wacky world of wrestling. It's not all about headlocks and hammerlocks. And
right.
It's a life story of a guy with a really unique gig, and all of a sudden here I'm 66. I started this thing in '74 when I was 22, and it's 40 plus years, and somehow or another I'm still in wacky land. and I'm having the time of my life. So it's a funny book. It's got good stories, some poignant stories. But it's dedicated to my late wife and her memory and her wanting to be honest. That's the only thing she demanded out of this book, was that you got to be honest. I'd never talked about my issues with pain medicine,
right?
And especially sleeping. I was an Ambien freak.
So you go deep on some issues here.
Oh yeah, I was hitting Ambien like they were chiclets.
Wow. All right, hold that thought. We're going to take one more break. Come back more with the legendary Jim Ross. Stay with us.